You're listening to the Seen and Solved podcast brought to you by Hubbard-Hall. Better results, less chemistry.
So welcome to this episode of Seen and Solved. I'm your host, Tim Pennington. Today I'm talking with Connor Callais, formerly known as the application specialist, but new title of technical ninja, who has solved many customer problems in the manufacturing industry out in the field. Connor, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it.
Great. Let's talk about some hero products. First of all, I wanted to talk to you about today is Aquaease. And I want to talk about the PL72 A32, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me about that. It sounds like it's very specific. Tell me what it does and some of the uses that end users can have with it.
So actually, contrary to your intuition, it's one of our more wide-range multi-use cleaners that we have. It is a phosphated cleaner that has a pretty broad spectrum detergency package that is really able to tackle a wide variety of different substrates and applications and different organic contaminants that you have. It's also usable. It can be used just as like a immersion type cleaner in the tank, just put in at a certain concentration. It can be used ambiently. It can be sprayed. It can be used as a vibratory cleaner. It can be used in a number of different ways for a variety of different metal bases.
Right. Tell me about the benefits that a user will get out of this. What are they going to get best out of this as opposed to any other products they may be using?
Sure. So if you're dealing specifically with, like, let's say non-ferrous substrates, so like aluminum or different types of brass, it's going to really do a good job of just really kind of getting it down to the bare metal without causing any adverse reactions. It's relatively neutral, so it doesn't have any strong acids or any caustic components in it that can be disadvantageous with certain metal uses. And so it really enables the cleaner to kind of be used functionally without having any negative effects on the metal or part that you're processing. And it's also pretty useful in a place where you're going to have mixed metals. So if you aren't quite sure, you're going to have a variety of different metals that are going to be going into an application. This is able to be friendly to all of them and also effective at the same time.
Gotcha. You know, I remember reading that this does really good on removing lubricants, oils, things like that, which I know when it gets to the plating side or the finishing side or the anodizing side, those finishers have a tough time sometimes of really getting those lubricants and cutting fluids and things like that off. So it's really, I guess, imperative from a OEM standpoint or from a manufacturer or even the finisher to really get those things, those contaminants off these parts as best they can.
Absolutely. Yep. And another benefit too is kind of adding to its versatility. It can be used at a wide range for temperature and concentration. You could be using it at 120, 130 degrees, spraying it at 1 to 2%. Or if you have a really aggressive application, you could ramp up the concentration to 20 or 30% in an ultrasonic tank and crank up the temperature if you need to as well. So you really kind of have that versatility to use this product in a way that best suits your application and your needs.
Gotcha. Before we go, tell me an example of somebody that has used this that's really worked well for them. Probably somebody that was having problems, right? Of couldn't figure it out. Tell me about somebody that was using something else, and you guys kind of came in with the PL72 A32 and really helped them with the Aquaease product.
Sure. So we had a customer that it's primarily a brass application where they have these brass fixtures, but they also have roughly 10% of the surface area has some steel on it as well. And so they needed a way that was going to be friendly to both the steel and to the brass and be able to clean them in an effective way. They were using kind of a more generic cleaner prior to, and they just had issues really kind of getting it to work for both the brass and the steel and still removing all the contaminants off the surface of the part. So they implemented this. They're using it at a lower concentration in an ultrasonic unit, and it really is able to kind of penetrate through the oils, break them apart, splits those up to the top, and then enables them to really kind of get a clean surface and one that doesn't have any tarnishing or doesn't have any smutting coming out of the steel as well.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, yeah, you may work for one metal, not the other, but this kind of works with a lot of them. So that's a great pick for that. Well, great. Well, listen, Connor, thank you for that. I appreciate you giving us the insight. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
The Seen and Solved podcast is brought to you by Hubbard-Hall. For more podcasts, visit hubbardhall.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to like and subscribe, rate and review, and join us on social media. Produced by Aquaease.